Hello and welcome back to another episode of my MotoGP 22 career mode, and today we are here for the start of our Moto2 season. But the first thing we have to do is actually sign for a Moto2 team. So I left it up to you guys at the end of the last episode, the end of our final Moto3 race. I showed all the options that we had, all the teams that were interested, and let you guys pick. And you guys actually picked Italtrans as the team you wanted to see. So we're on week 45 of the first season, so that should give us plenty of time to actually try and sort out this contract. So if we search for a contract with factory team, so we've got Italtrans here. You can see the base performance is pretty good. It's right up there. I suppose it's because it's a Kalex bike, but some of these other bikes are further down. Like if you look at American Racing, Mandalika, I mean, to be honest, Honda Team Asia, that's pretty rough. Although I suppose if you base it on their previous performances, it's not great. But even last year, Iagora wasn't doing too bad, so a little bit harsh there, but you can see right up here with some of the top Kalex teams, we've got Italtrans and Flexbox HB40. Obviously, those are two championship-winning teams, so I guess it does make sense that they're right up there. So I'm going to approach Italtrans, and we've got 10 weeks to do the negotiations, so this is kind of the tedious part where you just have to keep advancing forward and just wait to see what they say. So a week later then, we've got two notifications. We seem to have received a proposal. Now, I'm going to try and do something that I've never done before. I'm going to try and negotiate this contract. So if we have a look, you can see the qualifying objective is second row, championship objective top 3, race objective top 5. You can see the overall annual salary is 403,000. I'm going to see if I can get a little bit more out of them there. I'm going to put the signing on bonus up to 95,000. I'm going to put the championship objective bonus up to 85,000, I think. And we'll see what happens. I don't believe they get angry if you fail the first time, but I'm not so sure. So I might have messed this up, but I'm going to send it because I've never done this before. I've always kind of wanted to do the negotiation. I've always thought about it, but I just thought I'd try it this time, just see what happens. So good news, they actually accepted that proposal. So we're getting paid a bit more money now. So we're getting 95,000 for the signing on and 85,000 for the championship objective. So we've just saved ourselves, well, we've just got ourselves an extra 10,000 credits there. Not too bad overall. I mean, 10,000 credits isn't a lot now that I think about it, especially since I already have nearly 200,000. But I just wanted to try the negotiation. I don't want to lose the job. So there we go. Accept the offer. That's Italtrans signed with. So we are going to be racing for the Italtrans team alongside Joe Roberts and Lorenzo Dalla Porta for this next season. But for now then, I guess we've just got to end off the season, just keep advancing forward to the end of the year and get ready for Moto2. So here we are then, we've got a couple of notifications just before we head into the next season. We've got a new proposal apparently, well that's from Avintia. Well, I've already signed a contract for Moto2, so of course I'm going to reject that offer. And it now says dismissal as well on that screen, but it's fine because I'm about to go to the next season with a different team. And if we look at the technical staff, chief engineers, another chief engineer coming along, Loris Koch. Not great, honestly. I'm going to reject that because some of these higher ones, they have really high aerostat and it's just such a pointless thing. It doesn't do anything. Makes a difference. Timothy Booth is still the guy I'm looking for, to be honest. Probably just want to keep him. But without any further ado then, let's head into the next season and officially become a Moto2 rider. So here we are then, finally into Moto2. We've just got a hefty amount of credits there. I'm not sure exactly what that was for. Was it for the signing on bonus? I guess it was, because obviously I did up that slightly. So now up to 280,000 credits. So it's a good job we did get a little bit extra. It seems like you could already set up a junior team in Moto2 on this game. I think in the last game you had to be in MotoGP if I'm not mistaken. So it seems like they've changed that slightly. But either way, I'm obviously not going to be doing that right now because we saw how badly that can go. I probably won't even do it at all, to be honest. The junior team stuff, it's kind of fun, but it's a little bit boring, really, especially when your riders are just terrible. If you remember back to MotoGP 20, that wasn't great. My riders didn't do a good job in that one. But either way then, we've just got to advance forward to the first race of the season. Obviously, it'll be a few weeks in, and we'll probably get a few notifications. Speaking of which, we have got one, and that is a new chief engineer applying. So have we lost all the chief engineers that were applying before? Oh, we have as well. So I've been saving them up, waiting, and they're not even there anymore. I didn't even realise they disappeared when you went into the new season. Well, this guy's pretty good. To be honest, he's got quite a high engine stat. He only loses, well actually he loses 3 on the chassis. So I might wait for a bit more of an all-rounder before signing him. But we should probably have a look at the development actually, just to see how many research data points we need. So we need 1,000, and we have 900 on the engine. We need 1,000 I guess for this, no we need 2,000 for the frame. It's quite a lot, we only have 900 on that too. And everybody's on the production, so that makes sense. We've actually got some electronic upgrades we can put on a Moto2 as well. So I think it's actually going to take a bit longer to upgrade this bike than it did in Moto3. We've now actually got enough to upgrade the engine, so if we go on here, we've put that first engine upgrade on, just stick everybody from the engine department on there. That's going to take 4 weeks, so actually not too bad. We should have that upgrade pretty quick. Not for the first race, I don't think, but we probably will have it for the second one. We've also got a notification here on the technical staff. Another chief engineer applying. Wow, he is abysmal. He's an aerodynamicist, but we've been through this. That's a pointless upgrade because it's only applicable to the MotoGP class and also does very little in that class. So yeah, it's really not worth getting an aerodynamicist in these games. So we'll just keep advancing forward. We've got a few more weeks still. I always forget actually how far into the year it is. Week 9, so it's actually, there is quite a while. In fact, we are going to get that upgrade before the first race of the season. I didn't even realise it took that long. So here we are in week 7, we've got a notification on the frames, we can actually put that first frame upgrade on, so even though we haven't done any running on track already, like whatsoever, we can already put 2 upgrades on, that's pretty mad. So that's actually going to take 7 weeks this one, so a bit longer, but that's to be expected since it was a more expensive upgrade. They always take a little bit longer, because obviously they are bigger upgrades, that's why they cost more. And we've got another technical staff notification here, another chief engineer coming in. This one's not so bad. He loses a little bit. He's kind of the equivalent of this guy, this Michael Weber guy, or Weber, however it's going to be pronounced. Probably Weber since he's Australian. But yeah, again, I want a bit more of an all-rounder, so I don't think I'll go with either of those. Unless I can get a data analyst to sort of balance out the chief engineer, but nobody seems to be applying as a data analyst. So here we are then, ready for the first round of the season here at Qatar. The first engine upgrade has come in as well now, so we're already up a little bit more power. So I've not even ridden the bike with the minimum power because that upgrade came in before the first race. Without any further ado then, let's head into it. I'm really looking forward to this. I've not really ridden Moto2 at all. I'm hoping the AI are going to be a little bit more competitive. If you remember back to Qatar last year, we had a pretty tough race. There was a lot of aggressive riding from the AI, Ricardo Rossi pushing me off the track, things like that. So yeah, it could be quite similar. It will be a little bit different because it looks like it will be probably obviously a bit more of a night race, a bit more evening, night time for Moto2. Qualifying's definitely at night time, I think, for Moto2. So yeah, there'll be some mixed conditions throughout the weekend, but hopefully we'll be on the pace. So then, at the end of our first ever Moto2 free practice session, we've ended up in 3rd position, which is not too bad actually. It's pretty decent. I had to push quite a lot to do that. I actually had to do 2 runs on soft, and that was just because I was really trying to achieve all the objectives in the session. We managed to get them all except one. The only one I didn't do was race pace, and that's just because I could not do the lap times quick enough consistently. But I'll take it. Only a 10th off Aaron Canet. That's pretty decent because we were 2 seconds off at the start of the session. Then they improved because I got to about 1.1. Then I was about 1.5 off again. So compared to their final times, my starting time was a good 2.5 seconds off that. So to only be a 10th off by the end, it's pretty good. It seems like we're massively down on power though. It definitely feels that way. Like I can actually feel the lack of power out of the corner, which is something I never even really had in Moto3. I never felt like the bike was slow. It was just compared to the AI. But even when I'm track running on my own, compared to how I remember the Moto2 being in last year's game, I could just feel there's less power. So that could just be Moto2 in general. But I think the bike also, you know, not having all the upgrades on it is part of the reason for that. But not too bad overall. I'm not 100% sure what the next session is going to be like, so in terms of the actual conditions. I don't know if it's actually going to be fully night or if it's going to be slightly evening. So that might change my tyre choice, but to be honest, I might actually stick a medium rear on for qualifying, just to give me a bit more grip over the whole lap. The soft does get pretty hot by the end. It's not completely gone, it's not shredded like GP21, but it's getting there. Like, it is quite worn by the last sector, so yeah, I did a pretty decent lap there, but I'm hoping that maybe if I do put a medium rear in, I could do a little bit better. So then, fortunately, we have actually got through into Q2, but you can see only just, we were pretty much right on the cut-off. We've just beat Jake Dixon there, but my time was actually 3rd place going out of FP1, so you can see they've improved a lot over the weekend, because you can see Acosta was 2nd place and he's down. So they've either just improved a tiny bit and they're all like a few hundredths away, or they've got some simulated times that are very, very fast. So you have got to watch out for that. We're going through Q1, then we've got Celestino Vietti, obviously the real-life, well, actually, he's not the championship leader anymore, the former real-life championship leader, Cameron Bobier, Simone Corsi, interestingly enough, and Barry Boltus, who's been doing pretty well in this season in real life. So this is the actual tyre wear. You can see it's not too bad. 59%, well, 59% after 1 lap. That's actually quite severe. So that's the thing I'm worried about. I don't know about the front. The front might still be okay. I don't want to sacrifice my run completely, put a medium front on, a medium rear and a worn soft front, because that's really going to be bad. So I have got enough soft tyres to sort of have a go with that. So I think I'm going to stick a medium rear on, a fresh soft front. We'll see what we can do on that initial opening lap. And then if that's not good enough, then I'll just go and do a soft run at the end. But I reckon this is going to be a tough weekend. Even if I can qualify pretty decently, I'm not going to stay there in the race, I don't think. I remember back to MotoGP 21, the Moto2 debut. I think I put it on the front row there. on that game, and I finished 11th place. So it was one of those races where I got really beat up on the first lap. This is really the epitome of the first gear glitch, where you just get stuck in first gear in the pit lane. You can see the AI, they gain so much time. It seems to be worse at Qatar, which is just quite funny because Qatar's the first track, so it'll be the first track you ever play. Oh, I'm stuck in autopilot. I'm literally stuck in autopilot. What? Okay. What is my AI doing exactly? That is weird. I hope they don't take me out because I have no force. So I'm gonna just restart flying lap. That was bizarre. That was really, really bizarre. I've kind of been robbed of my outlap there to actually sort of get used to the bike again, even though I've just finished free practice, so it shouldn't be too bad. But just to get dialed in on this sort of tyre combination, I've kind of missed that because of the AI glitch, so that's a bit unfortunate. But we'll see. We'll see what I can do. The medium tyre didn't feel great coming out the last corner, I'm not going to lie, so the softs actually might be better. So coming up towards the line then, this has been a pretty decent lap. I think I got the triple rights basically as good as I have all weekend. I don't think I've even done it nearly that good. So towards the line then, 1 minute 57.8. I think that is my fastest lap of the weekend. So the soft-medium combination seems to work pretty well, but we've got a little bit hot into turn 1. So that's not ideal. So that's ruined my next lap, so I'm not going to get another go there, but I'm happy with that time. So I think the soft-medium was the correct choice. So if I do another run, I'll do it on the same tyre set. Well, maybe not the same set of tyres, but the same setup with the medium on the front. And Canet's just done a time half a second slower than me. Although Arbolino's only 7,000 off, that's more like it. I was going to say, they've lost a lot of pace if they're half a second down. Lost the front there through that corner. You can see the front tyre doesn't want to do it on the lap. There's so many Corsi behind me, so I'll get out of his way. But yeah, you can see currently on pole position. I wasn't really expecting that, but I don't expect that it'll stay because there's only 7,000 between myself and Arbolino. And I'd imagine that the AI will improve a bit. But it's pretty good to put it up there straight away. Shows that we're right on the pace. So then, at the end of the session, Augusto Fernandez is on pole position ahead of Cameron Bobier in second place, Somkiat Chantra in third position, but I'm actually in fourth place, so I'll absolutely take that. Again, a very similar amount off of the top time, and a time that was very similar to what I was saying in free practice. I think I did a 57... I might have done a 57.8 in that session too, but I'm pretty sure I did a 57.9. Even still, that's pretty consistent. I'm pretty much up there with my fastest lap of the weekend in qualifying, so that's what you want, really. Going to be an interesting race, see how it pans out. The AI are going to be ultra aggressive, I do know that. I remember that from last year, and just in general, the AI are pretty aggressive in this game, so this could be an interesting race. Not sure what tyres to go with in the race. I think medium might be a safe choice, but I'm not sure on the conditions of the race, because I was expecting this session to sort of be evening nighttime, because I seem to remember when Joe Roberts got pole here, it was like nighttime. I don't know whether the times were slightly different that year, just because MotoGP weren't there because of the pandemic, but I seem to remember that pretty much always it's like nighttime, at least at the end of the race. So I don't know what time of day it's going to be. Maybe it'll be early evening for this race, but so far I've had everything in the full sun conditions, so the tyre wear is always going to be a bit more exaggerated. So if it is sunset, I think we'll get away with medium, no problem. So then we're down here on the grid, and it is in fact sunset, and it has actually been recommended to use soft tyres apparently. Now, I'm not quite that confident, to be honest, because it will be a 5-lap race, I think. At least 5 laps, maybe 6 if I'm not mistaken. So I would have thought that maybe having a soft tyre would be a bit ambitious. So I think medium should be fine, but I'm definitely not going for a soft. I think that's just way too risky. Yeah, the soft isn't even recommended, so it's just the commentary being wrong again, as always. The commentary tracks are just so strange. They don't make sense half the time, and also they just play them incorrectly. Like they're saying, oh yes, most of the teams have gone for softs. Well, they clearly haven't, because that's not even the recommended tyre, so a little bit weird there. But either way, the mediums should last, so that is going to be pretty good. So we're just going to get this race started then. I have no idea what to expect, because I've not done any races in Moto2 at all. Not even to practice for this career, literally none.
Exciting lap complete. It's important to have warmed up the tyres, or they could have problems on turns 2 and 6. All eyes on the lights now. Everything's ready for the start of the Qatar Grand Prix.
So Augusto Fernandez on pole, Bobier alongside Chantra, riding off the front row, waiting for the lights to go out here at Qatar. Lights out and away we go. And we've had a fantastic start with that power mode 3. We've taken the lead immediately off the line. In fact, we've already got 4 tenths over them as well. So it seems like the AI are still bugged in Moto2 off the starts. I seem to remember last year they were absolutely appalling off the starts. It seems to still be the case. I've got 8 tenths of a second lead going into the first corner. But here we are. We've got the whole shot then. I've got to say, this looks amazing, this track here. I remember playing Sunset and thinking the last couple of games. And to be honest, it didn't look anywhere near as good as this. I don't think the lights were also on last time I played Sunset at this circuit. So it actually does look really phenomenal. But I probably need to focus on the track, so I've just made a big mistake. But I've still got an 0.8 of a second lead, so it's not the end of the world. We didn't get a track limits warning either, but what a start it's been. I didn't expect that good of a start. I expected I might be able to maybe pass a couple of them and maybe attempt to maybe take the lead into turn 1. I thought there was a chance that I could lead, but I didn't think I'd have a second lead coming out the first corner. The AI really are poor off the start, so in future perhaps I won't use Power Mode 3 off the line just to make it a bit more fair with the AI, because their starts are abysmal. This was the sector last year. I remember I struggled a lot in, they caught me a lot. Seems like I'm a lot better at it this year. I guess we've just got used to the slow direction changes from GP21. I don't know whether maybe it feels a bit more fluid on this game anyway, that section. I think the curbs help though. I think not getting stuck on the curbs throughout section also helps. Like the change of direction is slow, but I can actually use the curbs again to help, which makes me be able to do it a bit easier. Whereas on MotoGP21 you just got sucked on the curbs. We've now got a child limits warning, so I've got to be careful. Don't pick up another one immediately. But so far, it's been an amazing start because we've still got about a second lead. So if we can try and maintain that, that would be fantastic, because I was expecting to kind of go backwards in the race, not forwards. This might be one of those occasions where their race pace is just not as good as their qualifying pace. But lately, it seems like it's been the other way around, although they are gaining a lot on the straight here, so we've got to watch out for Fernandez. So here we are then, they've immediately nullified that gap, so we're definitely not going to be able to hold it. It just seemed like on the first lap they're pretty slow, but I've got a whole train of AI behind me now. So this could be quite dangerous, because as soon as one goes for a move, you know they're all going to try and come through. A lot of the time was gained in the first sector on the straights, but I also made another mistake at turn 3 again. Sorry, turn 4 again. Lost the rear coming through the penultimate turn. You can see though, they've got so much more speed than me. I know I had a little bobble coming out that corner, but it wasn't a massive one. Just got to try and square off this corner, use a bit of Power Mode 3, try and nullify it, but Augusto is right there, so we are going to have to go over to the right hand side just to try and stop him getting the slipstream. Although I think they're going to blast past me anyway. Here comes Augusto. Get a fast lap of the race to a few of the AI. Navarro gets the fastest lap in the end there. As we go into turn 1. I should have put down to the apex, so that is crucial. As long as I can kind of outbrake them and put down to the apex, it's not the end of the world. If they start battling behind, that might help me out as well. Because I've pulled out a bit of a gap again, 4 tenths. So once again, they are right on the back of me. You can see I'm massively under my time, 7 tenths of a second, nearly 8 tenths of a second now. I've used a little bit of Power Mode 3 in a couple of places, but it's not Power Mode 3 that's given me that lap time, really. On the straights a little bit, maybe, but it's just been me riding a lot better. But you can see Fernandez is still going to go for this move over the line. I did leave over the line. Again, more fast stats for the AI behind. They are so fast. They just don't seem to be able to find a way through. I seem to be able to just pull enough of a gap in this first sector, and they sort of spend the rest of the lap getting back behind me, and then the cycle continues. So on the penultimate lap, can I actually hang in here? Augusto's right there now through the last of the triple rights. This is going to come down to a final lap scrap, I think. And to be honest, to be leading coming on to the final lap would still be more than I expected from this weekend. But I don't want to leave for this entire length of the race and lose it right on the final lap. So I'm going to give it everything I've got. Try to use a bit of Power Mode 3. I've got 0.8 of a lap of fuel left. That should be enough to use it for most of this lap, to be honest. Talk towards the line then. You can see Joe Roberts fastest lap 58.0. What's this time going to be on this lap? 58.6. You can see I'm considerably slower. You can see the massive train. They just don't seem to be able to get past me. So coming down towards the final corner, I've absolutely aced this lap. And there was nothing that Augusto Fernandez could do. He couldn't get close enough. He had that one pop really through the penultimate turn. He was kind of looking on the previous lap. He was right there coming out the quick rights. But this time I've got half a second up towards the line. So we win our first race in Moto2 on our debut. What a race. So I actually set the fastest lap on that very final lap of the race. So I told you I aced it. That was pretty close to my qualifying time. Only 2 tenths off in the race with medium. I suppose I was on soft medium in qualifying, so it's not a lot different. But what a lap that was. That was a good final lap there. And to be honest, I'm pretty surprised. There wasn't a lot of action in that race, but trust me, I was trying hard. I was trying to pull away from the AI. And they did have a look, but it just seemed like they couldn't pass for some reason. It was really bizarre. Because pretty much the entirety of last season in Moto3, I've been complaining about how aggressive they were. They were a bit too over the top for my liking. Like they were just letting off the brakes and ramming you out of the way. Whereas really Fernandez, he would pretty much level me on the start-finish straight on pretty much every lap. But then wouldn't be able to make a pass anywhere because obviously I would have gone a little bit defensive and then just outbraked him. But at Moto3, they would have just sent it on you anyway. Maybe the Moto2 AI could do with being a little bit more aggressive, which I didn't think I'd be saying. But I tell you what, I'll absolutely take that. Decent race. After free practice, I did not think I was going to get anywhere near the top because I had to use so many tyres just to try and get third place in that session. I was 2 seconds off at one point. I thought that was it. I wasn't going to do anything. But we took the lead off the start and it's absolutely dominated. I am surprised. I am shocked they did not ram me out of the way. So, of course, the championship standings looking exactly the same as the race result. Myself in the lead, Augusto Fernandez in second, and Somkhat Chantra in third place. Looking at the team's championship, then, we are actually leading with 33 points. So, Joe Roberts getting 8 points there to contribute towards our total. Idemitsu Honda Team Asia in second place. Red Bull KTM Ayo in third. Flexbox HP40 in fourth. And Elf Mark VDS Racing in fifth position. So then, with that race done, let's head back to the Career Hub, see what we get from this weekend, and end off the episode. So then, from that weekend, we gained quite a lot of reputation. Obviously, got to get used to the new Moto2 reputation. So we gained 9,500 reputation, which takes us up to 117,000 exactly. As for the credits, we gained 13,890, which takes us up to 288,957. And we had a pretty good weekend on the development test. Apparently, we didn't pass without falls, even though I'm pretty sure I didn't. I'm pretty sure I didn't fall at any point, but there was a bug at one point in qualifying. I don't think I'll have left it in the video just because it was a bit weird. I rode into the pit lane and I had manual control still in the pit lane. I might put the clip up on my Instagram, so if you haven't followed my Instagram, Biker Gaming Official, bit of a cheeky plug there, but I might put it up on there just to show you what I was on about and just because it's a funny bug. But yeah. And then I tried to go in one of the pit garages and I think I fell through the world. So that might have been what counted as a crash potentially. I'm not 100% sure. And then we also didn't get race place just because I couldn't do the lap times consistently enough, it seemed. But either way, we now have 437 on the engine, 370 on the frame, and 1,137 on the electronics. Back in the main career hub now then, we've got a notification here on the headquarters. As you can see, there is an upgrade now available for, actually 2 of the upgrades available for the electronics. So which one should I go with? So there's either better wheelie control or engine braking 1. To be honest, I think I might go engine braking 1 just to try and get the bike to stop a little bit better. So that's going to take 10 weeks for that to come in, so it'll take a while for that electronics upgrade to go on. But there we go then, with those notifications dealt with, that brings this episode to a close. So I hope you guys have enjoyed that one. Not the most entertaining race out there. There wasn't a lot of battling. For me, it was pretty enthralling just because the gap was sort of constantly growing and shrinking. But it just seemed like we were quite balanced around the track. Even though the AI were actually quicker, we were just overall pretty balanced. Like, I could just pull the gap through sectors 1 and 2. And to be honest, sector 3, which was a sector where I struggled a lot in last year's game, I did touch on it a little bit in the race, that the curbs just sort of, you just got stuck to the curbs. The curb just basically sucked you onto it and you couldn't get off of it. So you basically had to just sit up the bike because you just couldn't turn on the curbs in MotoGP 21. But on this game, it seems like you can. So that makes Sector 3 a lot more bearable because of all the changes of direction. And then even the fast rights, you can actually run onto the curbs. If you go a little bit, if you want to carry a little bit more speed, you can use the entry curb and the exit curb. So that's really, really nice. So I think that just helps neutralise it a little bit in Sector 3, and then they gain a bit in Sector 4, and then obviously the start-finish straight going into Sector 1 as well. But overall, it was a fairly even battle. I just managed to up my pace in that final lap, used all power mode 3 around that whole lap just to neutralise it. And yeah, to be honest, it was a fun race for me. Hopefully it was a good race for you guys to watch as well. But like I said, I hope you did enjoy that one. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you're all staying safe, and I shall see you in the next one.